Hey, it's getting to be that time of the year. Camping. It's April. Sun's out. Things are starting to grow and get green and whatever. And when we get in this type of year, this is about when I'm thinking about getting the unit ready to go. Actually, we've already done a bunch of stuff, and it's down at an RV dealer, and it's being worked on right now because we had an issue with the door and an awning. But as you can see, things are pretty darn nice out here. So, the reason for this video is there is a lot of people that have gotten into RVing. So many so that campgrounds and places to go are filling up. They fill up really, really fast. You get to be on top of them. And if you're not, you're going to miss. You're going to miss out. You're going to find it tough, especially holiday weekends. It gets to be impossible. So if you're new to this sort of thing, and you're looking at this now, and right now this is 6th of April, if you're looking at this, within a day or so of me posting this, you're already behind the eight ball. So a lot of campgrounds have adopted a policy of January 1st, they start taking phone calls for the year. Now in the Northeast, it's a little weird for us because the camping season is normally about mid-April or so, and you could squeeze it out into right about into November. There are those people who have machines, snow machines and other things, four-wheelers, that will do four-season camping, and that's cool. If I had that sort of thing, I'd probably do it too. But the majority up here do not. Their majority of people are, let's call them just fair season campers. So anyway, so a lot of the campgrounds, they start taking reservations January 1st, and it's like a derby trying to get in there to get yourself a site set up, reserved, especially for the holidays. To make matters even worse, over the last few years, what some of the campgrounds have done is, let's say, make this easily as understood as possible. Let's say this coming week is going to be the 4th of July week, and I've taken vacation for the entire week, and I go out to the campground, and I check in there Sunday afternoon, and I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday morning I'm going to leave. The campground now gives you the option, prior to you leaving the campground, to go to the office and say, hey, I love this week here. You know what I want to do? I want to reserve next year. Same site, same thing. So they go in, and before they leave the campground, they put the deposit in, and they now have booked that site for next year, that week. So if you wait like the majority of other people do till January 1st or so, and you make that phone call, and you're looking to take that July vacation that week, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning, January 1st or 2nd, and you find out that the entire campground is booked for that week in July. Well, personally, I think that kind of sucks, because that doesn't give anybody else a chance at trying to reserve that site. That site has now been reserved essentially 6 months to a year ahead of time. It kind of blows. But that's what some are doing. Others still stick to the January 1st, and there are very few, they're out there. We just did one yesterday, or contacted one yesterday, that they don't start taking reservations until the first day that they open. And this campground actually in New Hampshire, they open 1 May, and they don't take reservations until 1 May. And you can't reserve a site the year before. That's their policy. I think that's fine. Unless you're seasonal and you're going to be renting season to season, that's fine. But with that being said, what I want to bring up is there's other options out there. You don't have to necessarily go to a campground per se. There are other things that you can do. There are state parks. You can go to reserveamerica.com. Those have a variety of sites in a whole bunch of different states, state parks, that sort of thing, that you can reserve. They lay out the entire year. There's, nothing hidden. You're able to see all the calendars and when everything is open or booked. So that's kind of handy that way. Another thing that we have used a couple of times, well, more than a few times actually, is Harvest Host. So Harvest Host is a pretty good deal in my opinion. I think membership is $79 a year. But that $79 a year gets you access to 2,000 and increasing, monthly, weekly, daily, sites in the U.S. Now, the stipulation with that is Harvest Host sites are supposed to be an overnight thing, 24 hours. You don't go there and set up for, multiple days or whatever. They have, there's expectations if you're part of this group. We are. And they ask that you follow those things. So one is that you contact whoever the landowner is. It may be a farm, it may be a brewery, it could be an area attraction or whatever. You make contact with them and you get permission ahead of time. You let them know that you're with Harvest Host. Harvest Host gives you a membership number also, so they're able to verify that you are a member of Harvest Host. And some of them have been incredibly accommodating. We have friends of ours that went to a brewery, and the brewery had just two spots. So they can handle, an RV at about 50 feet or so, which covers pretty much everything. They were able to back in there. They started to go in to talk to the people there, let them know that they were there. And they were met by the owner. The owner came out and said, hey, you guys made it and whatever, introduced himself. And he said, hey, do you guys want, power or water? And wow, sure, yeah, if you don't mind. He says, oh no, absolutely not. He says, I got cords out here and the hose around the back. He says, it comes right out of a well. You're all set. Fantastic. So pull into a brewery. It got water. They have, power just to charge things up in there. They had it's a Forest Riverstone, so it's a little bit bigger than the unit that we have. But anyway, just a little bit. They've got an inverter with a residential refrigerator and some other things, but they also have generators too. That's another point I'll get on in just a second. So you have to be self-sustained. You can't set up a tent. It's got to be a unit that has its own water, that sort of thing. Most of these places are not going to have dump facilities. They're not going to have water available for you. They're not going to have power for you, so you have to be self-contained. It just so happens in this one place, a guy came out and said, hey, if you need any of this stuff, I got it. So they got parked, got set up, and they went in, got something to eat, had some beer, talked to the owner. They ended up, trying flights of different things they had. It's a pretty good deal, really. Our first Harvest Host site was in the lower parking lot of Mount Washington in New Hampshire. So if you're not familiar with Mount Washington in New Hampshire, just go on the web and type in, well, you can see where we were staying, type in the COG Railway, that's COG Railway, Mount Washington, New Hampshire, and we were in the lower parking lot. So waking up to the sunrise in Mount Washington, in the spring with a little bit of snow on it and water cascading down over pretty nice, pretty nice. So because of where we were, and the cog railway was not open yet, what we did was they have a usage fee. Some will call them an Iron Ranger. If you go to a state park, and they ask you to go ahead and fill out a card, you put a little pass in your car or whatever, and you drop $5, $2 or whatever it is. So what we did was we went up to the lodge there for the cog railway, and we put $20 in the usage. I don't want to, the usage box, the Iron Ranger, if you will. Put $20 in there. And since, there's no houses around, there's nobody else around us, the cog railway wasn't open. I have 2 Predator 3500 inverter generators that I parallel and have a paralleling cord, so I can put 50 amps, or it provides, what was that? Yeah, it's total combined, 50 amps. And I can run everything, air conditioning, the whole 9 yards. So we sat there watching TV, whatnot, blah, 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 and stayed overnight, and really wanted to stay a couple more days because it was just really beautiful. It was just awesome. One of the maintenance people had stopped by and said hello, because they had a crew that was working on the tracks, going up the mountain, so that was the only thing that was going on. So these places, you look them up online, and there's a lot of neat places you can visit if you wanted to. You could spend, a week or two going from place to place to place, and get a chance to see a part of a state, or you can just go around the country. For an added fee, it gets you into golf courses. So if you're into golfing, that can allow you to get to not only the standard sites they have, but also golf courses, and get set up on those. So, but as far as the generator goes or other equipment, you have to check with the owner. You have to make sure, ask the question, be specific about it, because we don't want anybody, if you start having people taking advantage of this sort of thing, then places will shut down. They won't allow people to go back, and that would suck. So check it out, Harvest Host. Also look for other alternative camping. What do they call them? Dispersed areas. Also, there's government-owned land, state-owned land where you're able to go. Doesn't cost anything. There, it is primitive. You're not going to find any water or septic or anything else like that. So, again, and a lot of these things, it's not you're not going to drive a motorhome up into it. It'll be something smaller, a hybrid, tent camping, a smaller travel trailer, that sort of thing. But they're out there. Those are online too. Look those up. And boondocking is one word for it, or off-the-grid camping, if you will. So our fifth wheel, I have to install them this year. They're going to go in 4 Renogy 100-watt solar panels. I have a bank of 6 large batteries in it right now, a 2,000-watt inverter, the 2 Predator 3,500-watt inverter generators that I can easily carry in the back of my truck, which is right there. So I just slap those into the bed forward of the hitch, and I ride along. The truck doesn't care about that at all, and I can pretty much stop wherever it is I want to, and as long as I'm not going to bother anybody. Those generators are very, very quiet. They're at peak, I think peak load. I think there's 52 decibels. So that's a little bit louder than a normal conversation. But for an example, with both generators running, my wife and I can standing on one side of the generator, me on the other side, and we can have a normal conversation like this. That's not real loud at all. And if you're inside a structure, you can't even hear the generator, that's pretty cool. So those are good by those are sold by Harbor Freight. So, all right, enough on that. Something to consider, something to think about. Keep your options open. You don't necessarily have to go to a campground in order to go camping. Look at those. Also, I didn't bring up, you can call Walmart's, Cracker Barrels, and some other places. They'll allow you to stay overnight also. There you go. That's about it. If you have any questions, shoot them to me. Like the video, subscribe, share with your friends. We've been doing this for about 21, 22 years. So we got a little experience. There's other people that have been doing it longer, been, traveling more or whatever, but we have a fair amount of experience under our belt. So if we can help out, sure, we'll do it. All right. Have a good afternoon or morning or evening or whatever it is. We'll talk to you soon.